Everyone, listen, it's time. It's finally time. It is. Friday, April 29th at 9:15 will be the first show of I Choose You, and I need everyone to be there. I have NFL, I have some entertainers, I have blue collar, I have white collar. But listen, guys, I'm not done yet. I'm not done with receiving applications. So make sure all you eligible bachelors, make sure you drop me a DM in there, or either go to sbshow2020 at Gmail. I'm still accepting applications. And Lapeef, thank you so much for allowing us to sponsor your show. And everyone, April 29th, Friday at 9:15, the first show of I Choose You.
So sick of waiting for any luck to come my way. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Unsolicited, and I am Security Boss. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is having a terrific Wednesday night. Remember, guys, this is Hump Day. Do y'all remember Hump Day? Y'all might not know nothing about Hump Day, but that was what we called it when I was, a little younger. Hump Day. But guess what? We got an outstanding show planned for you all tonight. But I got to go over some announcements. You know what we got to do? It's a couple things I need to remind you of. That was just my update a moment ago on I Choose You. Yes, I Choose You first show. Our dating show is on Friday, April 29th at 9:15. And like I said, we have the NFL. We have some entertainments. We have some blue collar. We have some white collar. Listen, I'm even trying to get some soccer players. So listen, it's going to be all the way live. Y'all got to be there. The first show. We even got wild card judges. You got to be there. Friday night, April 29th at 9:15. It begins. And listen, if y'all know some bachelors that you just think that might need to put their, name in the hat, let me know. Go to SB Show 2020 and just leave me a message. SB Show 2020 at Gmail. I will definitely, take a look at it. So listen, something else I want to share with you all. I told y'all about go to my channel, little globe in the top right-hand corner. SB Nation is getting gear. We have some gear. It's there. I did say it wasn't available yet, but I still want to know what y'all think about it. Go check it out. Go to the channel, hit the globe in the top right-hand corner, look in the store. Let me know what you think, SB Nation. But you know what? I got to say hello to my people. Stephen Day, how are you? Big Bad Bull, how are you? Michael Richardson, Michael, how you doing? I love your comments. T. Shaw, I love your comments. I love all y'all's comments. Y'all be damn keeping. Oh, did I say damn? Y'all be keeping me busy. Y'all didn't hear that, right? Danny G, how are you? I'm so glad that y'all are here. Listen, I am so happy that you guys are here and supporting Sugar Bum. Hello, how y'all doing? I got to tell y'all a couple of more things before we get this show started. The other thing, y'all know how we like the money line over here. When the money line starts, y'all know what you're going to do. Got to move your shoulders. That's how we do the money line, right? Money line. Give me mine. Yeah, yeah. So y'all know that's how we do the money line. And typically the money line, the value is $9.99 and up. But tonight, since we have some guests in the house, we're going to have to make the money line $49.99 because we want to talk to them. We want to have some conversations. And we just don't want, I love when y'all interrupt, but we want to have some conversations. So Eugene, how you doing today? We want BOLO. How you? So we just want some conversation. So we just increased the money line to $49.99. Listen, you can still give and we can still do the money line. Y'all know what we do, but $49.99. But we still accepting super chats. I'll still read your comments and all of that. That part hasn't changed. We just want to have the conversations. Black man, how you doing? We just want to have a good conversation and, try not to interrupt it so much. Because I've heard that over here sometimes when the money line be coming in, people be getting a little off and, I lose my train of thought and all that. But hey, look, I'm just having fun. I hope you all too. So understand that, but we are still doing the money line. Let's see what else I got for you. That will be it. But guess what I got? Maria, how you doing? You killing me with the 49. Maria, listen, You can sponsor the show. Guess what? That's what we're gonna do. Whoever wants to sponsor the show tonight, but I hate to do that, but we got to have conversation. And if we get too many money lines, we'll be popping our shoulders all night. We won't even have conversation. I'm not saying you can't give $9.99. I'm just saying in order to get the money line song, it's $49.99 and up. I appreciate y'all though. Anything you can do. But guess what? We can't have a sponsor for the night show. Well, you know what? I'll even keep up with it. So whatever you guys want to do, I appreciate it. And if you just want to listen and give comments, we're good with that too. But tonight, guys, we got some guests in the house. And I've been talking about it all week, but here they are. Daily Wrap Up Crew, right? So we're going to do it one at a time, and then we're going to get started. So let's just start with Brother Eli. And then we're going to go to Ace. And then we're going to go to Jew. And this is typically the way you all sit when you're on your platform. So how about that? Everybody, the energy's good this way.
Accurate, like, yeah.
You're on point. You're on point with it.
Energy's good this way. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing?
Well,
I'm excellent. I'm so glad that you are here.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to jump into it because I got a lot of questions. But like I said, we're going to have conversations. When we get to a good point, I will, if you all don't mind, we're going to open the lines and we're going to have individuals come up one at a time if they have questions. If not, we're just going to have an excellent show. If you have any questions of me, please don't hesitate to ask. I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm going to run through it real quick and just tell you why I'm so interested in your show. I'm security boss. Mr. Boss is behind the camera. I'm a real boss actually, but that doesn't matter right now. I've been married. We've been married 26 years, and I actually still love being married. So that's what I brought. That's what I brought to the YouTube platform, and I don't mind being a woman. I don't mind serving. I'm not a man's equal. Never wanted to be. I do nothing over my head. That's what I tell my husband every day. I ain't doing nothing over my head. So when I see and I saw your show and how you put it together, and I hear the things that women say, my mouth drops because I love being a woman. I absolutely love being a woman. And it's almost like, did they really say that? Then, okay, my first question to you all, though, is this. Is any part of this scripted? Any part?
None of it is scripted at all. Like, these are everyday women speaking their thoughts as modern women. You know what I mean? None of it is scripted. We couldn't even script this if we wanted to.
When y'all jaw drop, so does ours.
Yeah. Okay. And the second thing, are cocktails being served?
We have a little drink before the show.
All right.
The nerves out, but that's nothing too crazy, nothing like that.
Okay, so you're saying they coming with whatever they came with. It's no encouragement. There's no liquid courage going on. It's just who they are.
Exactly.
That's how they feel.
All right. Wow. Gosh. So Bethany, hello. Thank you for being here. We're gonna jump into this. Well, I had to ask those questions because again, I'm from the South. And I know you guys are from New York, and the women are probably from New York also. And I get it. We live differently. But again, sometimes when I hear the things that they say, I am shocked.
Right.
Even their tones, even the way they communicate with you all is like, bruh. I'm like, what?
they trying to be just as masculine as we are. We like,
exactly. And I'm like, you guys don't even give off that energy though. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's not even who you are, so it's like funny. Now y'all can take this any kind of way you want. If y'all know y'all have all the same answers, one can answer, but if y'all got different answers, then we can just each one of you can answer. But I just want to know the history of where did the Daily Wrap Up Crew, what's the inspiration for this?
Yeah, I could take that one. We started in I think 2018. We all best friends. So the conversations we have on a regular basis at that time, the podcast space was really starting to get more popular. So we like, the same conversations we have on a regular basis, we might as well just have that on a podcast. So I'm gonna be honest with you, for like 2 years, we was doing podcasts every day. People don't know this, but we literally used to do podcasting every day on the Anchor app, just with our cell phones and headphones, just talking to each other. We had like 5 listeners. Shout out to them 5 listeners because they was tuned in, like, you know what I mean. So you know, we was talking about everything, music, sports. Like, our format was a lot different, but we started to see more traction when we started to talk about dating and relationships. We've seen that people started to gravitate towards that. So
Absolutely.
you know, it was. We did have a fourth. People don't know this, but we had a fourth co-host. It was she was a female, but you know, we had to go our separate ways, and then that's when we decided to bring the format on to have women on, because nobody wants an echo chamber of 3 guys just repeating the same, like, you know, narratives or whatever the thoughts. So we like, you know what? Let's have women on, so, you know, we could hear their perspective, they could hear ours, and maybe we could try to come to like some type of equal ground or some type of solution or something, like, you know what I mean? So. You know, our show is never about bashing women. You know, that's not what we're about. We're about, you know, hearing both sides, because obviously, you know, there's a lot of trauma within our community, and, you know, we need to listen to each other and hear each other out and have these tough, hard, and honest conversations sometimes, because that's the only way we're gonna find solutions. So, you know, that's the whole purpose, I think, of our platform, is to have the tough conversations and ultimately try to come up with solutions. And if we can't, we don't have the answers. That's one thing I want to stress. We do not have the answers, you know what I mean? But we will try our best to come up with a logical conclusion, or that's why we have the conversations that we put it out. So people in the comments can, you know, maybe people in the comments collectively could come to a better answer than we can. You know, I've said things before where, you know, somebody might have brought a different perspective, a woman or another guy, and it made me change how I looked on certain things. So, you know, we're not above criticism or critique, or, you know, we don't have all the answers, and we can admit that, you know, but we're willing to have the conversation at least.
Yeah, that's outstanding, because somebody needs to, because I really think these women, I hate to say this, it's kind of odd, but even though they're so vocal, they're almost innocent. Does that make sense?
I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
They have no idea what they're saying. It's almost like an innocence, and you just kind of want to grab them and be like, "No, honey, let me talk to you for a minute. This is how a woman is supposed to be." So, you know, that kind of brings me to my next question. You mentioned and you called them modern women, so I'm gonna take this one to Ace. Modern or traditional? Which one would you prefer, Ace?
Traditional all the way.
Okay, so tell me, what is it that you like about a traditional woman?
Traditional women, they just easier to get along with. You know what I mean? It's more like a natural fit. That's why I feel like it is. Like, it's like a hand in glove fit. Like, I consider myself an alpha male, a dominant male. So I feel like a traditional woman would be the best fit for me.
Absolutely. And I agree. It is a natural fit, because if you're in your masculine and I'm in my feminine, we shouldn't have any problems. So right. You're exactly right. But have you all ever explained that to the ladies? I haven't seen a show yet, I don't think, where you all actually said those things to the ladies.
We're gonna have to send you some links then, because
I've seen you all say some things that were like, okay, you see how you and I just talked about it, and I said, well, what, you know, you said a fit. I've seen y'all talk and speak to them traditionally about traditional and the value of it several times. I'm not saying that, but I still think it just kind of goes, they still feel like, oh, it's your preference. And I'm like, no, I'm still saying, no, ladies, no, it's not a preference. It's a real thing, you know.
You think that we kind of overcomplicating it? Like, we just need to simplify it?
You know, I've been trying to figure out, listen, I don't have the answers either. I'm over here talking about marriage. So I'm taking what you all are doing, trying to put it back together.
I mean, you got 26 years. So something you're doing is working. So
but still giving it to women is what's hard.
Right.
You know, I'm finding that women listen to you all much more than they'll listen to me.
No, they do not. You know what I'm saying? They do not. And that's what makes it difficult, because as men, even when we try to tell women certain things, they're not going to want to listen to us, because it's going to sound like we're trying to control them, or we're trying to make them this submissive slave. And that's not what we're doing. So I honestly think people like you, that successful marriages, need to speak to more women and tell them and show them how, you know, it's worked for me for 26 years. Clearly, I know I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? So
I totally agree with you, but I'm trying to tell you, there's a few now that are coming out that are like saying, you know, I'm taking notes. You know, I try to tell them, you know, I've been married 26 years, but that's over half my life. You know, I'm not an old woman. I know stuff. You know, I'm not like an old woman wearing a muumuu. I mean, my husband's still living. We still chasing each other around the house. I say I live good. I got a good life. I got the car I want. I have the life I want. I'm telling you, ladies, it's good over here, and they still want to fight. You know, so when I say they listen to you all can sneak stuff in, which might plant a seed. And they miss it. They might not think about it to the next day, whereas they won't let me even plant that seed. They'll be like, I don't know. You know, they always have a comeback. So that's why I say that. And I do know that, you know, KS, he talks to women all the time and they listen. They listen to what he's saying. So I'm just saying, I think sometimes women like for men to tell them, because the theory is, you know, they're doing it for the man. So men, who would know better?
Are they? Because we have women say they don't. Man, this is why our platform is so, I think, educational, because we have women say they don't do nothing for a man. Everything they do is for themselves. And, you know, so I guess it depends on the type of woman, you know.
I just think that's a bunch of resistance. We know what's up. You know, you had a girl one day and she was really honest. She said, no, I got this BBL for my man. He paid for it. I was like, okay. That was different. You know, usually they won't say that. So there's some out there that's really good. Okay. So, Jew, tell me this, natural or what? Well, what do you think? Natural, or I don't want to say fake, but do you prefer natural women?
I prefer natural everything, natural face, natural hair, natural body, whatever God gave you. That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of, you know, getting in situations where you might go to sleep with somebody and you wake up with a whole new person. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real thing.
Yeah, butt pads. They out here tricking the whole world now.
Yeah, they really are. So would you date a woman that's had a BBL?
Seriously?
Seriously was loaded. What do you mean?
I wouldn't date them in a serious manner. I mean, they'll be good for whatever time that would be, but I can't see myself looking past that. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real.
I'm glad you said that, because that brings me to my next question, and all of you can answer. How do you feel about this body count question?
Wait, can I add on to that BBL question real quick?
Absolutely. Listen, this doesn't have to be like this. Y'all can say whatever you want to throw something at me. I'm just, you know.
I agree with you. Like, I love women like natural, like whatever God gave you. I've always embraced that, and every relationships I've told women that I've dated, like, I prefer you with your natural hair out. I prefer you with bare faced. I prefer, you know what I mean? So I always encourage the women I date that I prefer them natural. Whether they want to listen to it or not, that's on them. But you can ask Jew. I got a funny story. You can ask Jew. I was I was talking to this woman one time, right? And you know, I met her at the club or whatever the case is, and you know, we exchanged phone numbers. We was talking for a while, and she had told me later on, like a couple of days later, that she had surgery, weight loss surgery.
Oh, I know.
So when she showed me the before and after pictures, I don't know if you're familiar with wrestling, but there's a wrestler called Viscera. Like, let me know in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a wrestler called Viscera. Big, you know, big person. She went from Viscera to damn near Amber Rose. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like immediately when she told me, I lost all attractiveness for her, because it was just like, I don't know. I just lost it. Like, I just couldn't see her the same. So you can ask Jew. Like, I was just like, I was just turned off completely. Like, you know what I mean? So
Big Viz. How much did Big Viz weigh?
Jew, what you gonna say? 300-400?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, if not, maybe more. Like, you know what I mean?
So I'm assuming you never saw this woman naked, right?
Nah, I didn't even. I was just, like I said, I stopped talking to this woman completely. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, she might watch this and be like, "Oh, that's why he stopped talking to me." Like, you know what I mean?
Listen, Henny Mac say 500 pounds.
They know what I'm talking about. But literally, Viscera to Amber Rose, and I'm like, nah, man. Like, it's just like, I even trained myself or programmed myself to not even give those type of women credit anymore. Like, I used to put those women on a pedestal, and it wasn't even because I naturally knew that they had their body done. I'm naive. I would like to believe that you have a nice physique. So naturally, I'm just thinking, okay, maybe she was just has that natural physique to her. now that I know some, like a lot of these Instagram models that I know that got work done, I can no longer put them on a pedestal anymore. Like I can't be like, oh, Bernice Burgos. Like
True.
anybody that could go to the doctor and say, I want to look like this, I cannot give you any credit. Like you cheated. Like, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel. Like that's why I'm always going to value natural women, you know?
So listen, we have a $9.99 super chat, and it's from Sway. Sway, how you doing today? He said, shout out SB and her husband. We here working, Sway. So listen, guys, we're gonna open up the lines in a little bit. And if y'all have any questions, I definitely want y'all to come up and ask those questions. But listen, I want to go from because what Juice said about, I might have a good time with her, but it's not going to be a serious date. So now that takes me to this body count question. What do you all think about? And y'all can, anybody, Jew, I don't know if this is actually something that you did or will do, but would you add to the body count of a young lady knowing full well they won't go any further?
I mean, I think back in the days, me probably would have just said, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably would have just did what I had to do. They didn't have any value or any future preference for her at all. So I don't know. Yeah, it probably would be a one time and I'm out of here. I can see myself doing that.
Yeah.
So is the body count a problem?
I mean, for most men, like if I feel like I'm interested in somebody, I don't even want to know. So I mean, I'd rather give her a clean slate. So it's kind of like something I'm building off her naturally. I feel like if I heard a crazy number, it's gonna kind of sway me off of her. You get what I'm saying? So like, I feel like men or a guy like myself don't even want to hear that number.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that number should be under these fingers right here. I want to see less than 10. You know what I'm saying? But you know but they say you got to multiply that by 4 to get the real number. So we
actually,
don't know the real facts.
Actually, about 7 to get the real number, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
The mathematics.
I ain't gonna tell my sister's secrets. Okay?
The mathematics must have changed.
I'm just kidding. Mm-hmm. So, Ace, what you think about that? What do you think about this body count question?
The way I feel about it is you never gonna know a woman's real body count. So as long as your name not in the streets and you don't got like a crazy number, like if I'm talking to a girl that I really like, she would have to tell me a crazy number. Like if she said like 50, I'd probably be like, okay, like that might be too much. But if I'm really feeling you, know what I mean? I gotta see it through and see how it goes, man. Because like I said, you never know. So you just gotta focus on how the person treating you. And once their name not in the streets and being slandered, you see.
As long as she ain't on no billboards and
as long as she's not known as that neighborhood thing.
Yeah. You know what? You're exactly right. So listen, Eli, what about you and the body count?
I agree with both Jew and Ace. Like, honestly, you really never gonna know unless she a neighborhood, like, you know what I mean? She a neighborhood treat. But like that's a Brooklyn term, by the way. But you're never really gonna know as long as she's not really out there like that, and she ain't got sex tapes circling around the internet or nothing crazy. Then you know what I mean. You're not gonna know, and I'm not gonna necessarily want to. I'm not gonna ask those questions. Like I've never asked a woman like, "Yo, how many guys you been with?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's your body? Like, I've never done that personally, but I remember seeing something on IG. Is this person on IG? His daughter's 7 on IG, and she said she had a question about what are you saving for your husband? And to that day, I still think I reference that quote frequently because we have this era where women feel sexually liberated and they feel like they want to explore their bodies, they want to put their bodies out online, this, that, and the third. So it almost makes it, with your husband, when you get married, like your body everybody has seen your body at this point. It's no longer a sacred temple for me because everybody has experienced that temple. It's even to the point where some women give their womb away to other men, but expect, the husband to come or the boyfriend to come and be the cleanup guy. So, I often question that, like, like women today, what are they really saving for their husbands? You know what I mean? That they haven't already given to multiple men at this point. You know what I mean? So it's all about preference. But like I said, I'm never gonna know the true number at the end of the day. So and I'm not gonna ask as long as your name ain't out there crazy. It's not gonna really affect me like that.
Well, you know what? I've heard that New York is a very hypersexual area, and everybody's like so close together. So it's just a thing. It's not even a big deal. It's not even taken seriously. So if that's that way, then it would be
what's not taken seriously?
Sex.
Sex is not taken seriously?
That was some information I got from someone, actually 2 people that lived. Well, no, they currently do live. Well, no, River doesn't. But Male, he actually still lives in New York. He says everybody's on top of each other. You go out the door, it's right there for you. And you know what he means by that, right? Mm-hmm. It's just always available. The women make themselves available. Gotcha. Since it's like that, it's not taken seriously. It's not a big deal. Whereas, you come in the South, I'm not saying we ain't got no 304s down here, but we may be more on getting married, the thought of it, right. Like you just said, because I remember not too long ago, you all asked the question, and it goes to you too, all of you all. You talk about marriage, y'all talk about being married. Y'all asked that question to the young ladies, and it was almost like they hadn't thought past the end of the year for their life.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what episode you're talking about. Too.
It was like married? Like they didn't. So that answers your question. I think sometimes women, and I don't know why, don't think past a year. They don't make those goals or set those, they don't challenge themselves to say, where am I going to be in 5 years? Mm-hmm. So when you ask a question about marriage, they've never thought about it. Whereas you guys are saying, I can ask you, and I will, what you think about marriage. And you can say, no, I want to be married. I want to have kids. I want to do this. And I noticed that they didn't have any thought of that. And I just think it's because they're in the moment for whatever reason.
I think it's 2 different eras, because I feel like, I think back in the day, if you were messing with a woman and she got pregnant, most men knew without a doubt that is my child, right? You know what I mean? Right. Nowadays, it's more of women are so liberated, and mm-hmm. promiscuous. Guys are going to question whether that's their child or not. Like, so if you're messing with a shorty and she gets pregnant, it's no longer, okay, yeah, I know I got that seated up. You know what I mean? Now it's like, well, you was messing with Tommy and Jake, and like, how do you know it's not theirs now? So now it's that, and goes back to like, when men are saying, paternity tests should be done. Now we got to the point where men need physical evidence now that that's our child, because the women are very much out here and exploring their sexuality. So, like, it's just 2 different eras that we live in now. So,
I mean, I agree with you. I think there should be DNA tests before that baby leaves the hospital.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, were you getting ready to say something, Ju?
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't believe that all 4 of those women would say they wouldn't want to get married. Like, when marriage is brought up, I think women always want to grab at it, because I think they want a man to be there for them. You know what I'm saying? So to hear that kind of scared me a little. I'm like, damn, it's 3 guys on one side, 4 women on the other side, and all the men saying they want to get married, and then the woman just have a fear of it. I'm like, it's scary for my son growing up.
But they don't have a fear of being a single mother. Like, I don't understand that. Like, they rather, have children than, be married. And that's the community that we unfortunately in right now. So,
well, the fear comes from, and this is not to take away from any of you all, the fear comes from not seeing it being demonstrated in their homes. There's not too many Black successful marriages where they can look at and say, oh, I would like to have that, or oh, I would like to be a part of that. See, like my husband and myself, I don't know. I mean, we're on YouTube, but our friends that do the same thing or in the same situation that we are not on YouTube. So where they're going to find it, if it's not their aunts, their uncle, if it's not somewhere neighbors, they're not going to see it. So that's the fear. The fear is I can invest and submit everything to this man, but he may leave me.
Right.
But they know that baby ain't going to leave them. They know that they're going to be responsible for taking care of that child to 18 and on, sometimes longer. So that's where the fear comes in there. They just don't have that investment in men investing in them that way. So that's the fear. And I can kind of see that, I can see why it would be, because if you fail at marriage, then what do you have? I mean, that's how they think about it. It's like, my life is over. I failed at this. Right. What can I do? Whereas I always say, you make marriage what you want it to be. I always tell everybody, I'm gonna pour into my husband because I got to be this way forever. This is it for me. This is death do us part. So every day I'm gonna be practicing on how to be a better wife and have a better marriage. So we do everything else like that. Why we can't be married that way?
Dearly beloved.
So
and successful marriages are too busy basking in their happiness to be on social media bragging about it. Like my mom has been married for 20 plus years, but she's not on social media taking pictures and bragging about it. Like she's too busy being happy. So the idea is we don't see the happy relationships or the successful marriages because they're not on social media. But obviously the divorces and the bad breakups are all over the headlines. People gravitate towards those. So women, all they see is this, and men too, all they see is this fear, spreading around, circling the internet. And that's what they think marriage is about. Just, losing your individuality, losing your independence, like losing your resources if you're a man, or whatever the case is. So.
And what about the negativity towards men? I mean, you even have platforms out there with 100,000 plus subscribers saying delete black babies. Black men are no good. I mean, that's a scary thing to hear because somebody's going to have a story. It's not going to be true for all men, but somebody's going to have a story where something sounds like it may be, may have some validity to it. So that's what the woman is hearing. And then, she's looking around, there's not any choices and she doesn't see anything successful. So then, they move on. They be like, okay, that's not going to be me. I don't have, it's like a real defeated attitude, almost depressing, I would say. But it's also, those women don't think about their life. They're just in the moment. So,
yeah, I don't want to even speak on that community, but I will say this, women in those communities, they need help. Like mentally, they need help. They need to fix therapy. They need something because their mindset is so toxic and detrimental to our community. And, I don't know, man, it's just crazy over on that side of that, that side of YouTube. So,
and not only that too. I'm sorry. Who was speaking? Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I think that a lot of women these days don't want to get their hopes up just so they don't get let down at the end. So like you said, there's not a lot of marriages that they're seeing around. So it's like, if I get my hopes up, it's not something that's happening these days. But they're not looking at why it's not happening.
Right.
A lot of women who are exuding the feminine energy like yourself are married. It's a lot of masculine. There's a lot of masculine energy going around, and men are attracted to women. They're not attracted to masculinity. Like it's simple, and I don't understand how. A lot of modern women don't see that. Like it's a simple idea.
But they don't see their behavior as being masculine. They see it as being they see you all as being threatening because that's the message that's being pushed.
Right.
Because someone just said a moment ago, controlling. They think submission is controlling. They think serving is dominating. I'm saying I'm a serve because I'm gonna be taken care of. I see it differently. But going back to what you said about the mindsets, I was just thinking about that. You would almost need to go back to the beginning of social media and tell these young ladies, we don't need to be on social media. I didn't even realize it, but I've never been on social media before in my life until YouTube. So I never, growing up in my teens and 20s and stuff, I never did social media. So
you say that because we had a woman on the show that said that if social media wasn't invented, that she'd be married right now.
Yeah. Because because you know what? Because women consume that stuff and they believe what they hear. I mean, they actually take it as real.
They standards done rose.
So there you go. So we would have to even go in and try to change the mindsets. We would have to say deprogram and say, listen, let's read some books or go out with your kids. I don't even know what we could say to say, put down social media. I don't even know what would be the comparison. Get a part-time job. I don't know.
I feel like they need a national no social media week. Like all social platforms need to just I don't know, bro. We need that detox from social media because it's really corrupting our minds. The conditioning, the programming, like it's just is detrimental. I think it's more detrimental than helpful. So,
well, but there's a business side to this though. My whole business, is on, being advertised through social media. So it's like, I see what you're saying, and it's necessary because women, y'all listen, we're emotional. And so when somebody gets to crying or says something tragic, or, somebody's homeless, they need $5, a child gets, hurt or whatever, they're there. It could be lies all day long. And I don't even think they go try to investigate it. We're just there, and it's just consuming us. I didn't know I was doing something special or different. It's just that social media never appealed to me.
Right.
And I think mostly because I was married and I poured into my husband.
Mhm.
So, that means that women would need to be getting married around 23, 24, 25 years old, and then they wouldn't have time for it.
Right.
So that's how the deprogramming or the changing of the mindset, that's where it would have to start.
There really should be a study on that, like, successful marriages and the lack of social media or something. There got to be some type of study for that, man. Because I'm thinking about my mom and her long-term successful marriage, and like I said, she's not on social media like that because she's pouring into her marriage. So I wonder if there's there got to be some type of study done out there. I don't know. Maybe you can find that article.
I don't know. We can start one because it's definitely influence, and influence is real. That's what it is. It's influence and distractions. Influence will get into your head, and I always tell people about single girlfriends. I was like, listen, I don't do single girlfriends, and I have these things that I do. So I'm willing to definitely help some women because I do think that being married is the key to this thing. So what do you all think is the key to helping our community? What do you think?
Who want to go? I'll go first. I was talking to my grandmother yesterday, actually, and I remember when my mom first got married, I had to have been like maybe 15, 16, something around that time. And I remember telling my mom specifically, it's crazy that I remember this, but I remember telling my mom that, you know what, I can never see myself getting married because at that time I was young. I couldn't see myself settling down to one woman because I was having all these success with multiple women. So in my head, I'm like, man, I can never be married to one person. But now that I have gotten older and I've seen obviously the damage that single parent households have done to our community, like, single parent households are 7 times more likely to, become pregnant as a teen, like 85% chance to having behavior disorders, 85% more likely to end up in jail. Usually when you look at these communities these gang related communities where black men are killing each other, they're coming from single parent households. You know what I mean? So when I start to see marriage and the priority and family and marriage, you see more success in our community. So I'm very much advocate for, black people being married, because when you look at the 60s and 50s, and I might have the time era wrong, but we were way more successful. You know what I mean? When we had that family, that unity, and obviously they did something right to the point where, the powers that be dismantled that because they seen it as a threat. And that's a whole nother live stream, but they clearly had something going right for them with the black marriage and the black family unit that was working out for us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Obviously we got away from that and we see the dysfunction. We see the gender wars. We see the men ain't this, the women ain't that. So I'm very much an advocate for healthy, successful marriages. I'm also an advocate for, productive fathers. Fathers need to be in a home much more. It's just a lot, but marriage is something I definitely believe that will actually fix the community. That nuclear family is what we need in our community, and single parent households is not doing it. So,
See, at one point in time, we realized that we needed each other. For some reason, now we don't feel like we need each other, and I don't know. I really don't know why that is. Besides the talking points, but I need my black men to be leaders. Right. All of you. I need y'all to be head of households. I need y'all to want to do it, and I just really feel like if y'all can do that and be in place, we can have women. And we're not gonna always have it all together now because we just women. Right. But if we're willing, then we can work it out. Right. But really, beloved, that's what the value of being married and the value of the black man is like. Really, it's not there anymore.
Right, unfortunately. So, I mean, hopefully with our channel, we got different segments that we're working on, and hopefully we can highlight. You're doing excellent work with the dating show that you have, which is actually, that's something that we also struggle in our community too, dating, and finding ideal mates. You know what I mean? So because we don't have that marriage and that family structure, women don't know how a man is supposed to be in a household, how he's supposed to lead, how he's supposed to cater to them. You know, men, all we know is women, you know, because of our mothers, and that's not really helping us because we don't have that father figure. So we need places where black men and women can come together and date, you know, within their needs and, you know, their wants and everything. So I'm glad that you're doing that with your show, so.
I'm so glad you said it. That was almost a commercial. But before we get started, listen, guys, when you're coming into the live, make sure you're giving us a thumbs up. And I thank you all for being here. Listen, we have more to talk about, but continue with your comments. We definitely appreciate it. And I want to say this, the dating show is virtual because dating nowadays, like let me say in my day, dating used to be, we used to go to car wash, used to go eat pizza. We had fun. Now I'm understanding dating is, pardon my word, I'm not going to say the word, but dating is effing now. You know, this is just
that's the culture, yeah.
And I'm thinking, do we not get to know each other anymore? They're like, nah, that ain't necessary. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's the sex is the precursor is the qualifier. Like if the sex is good enough, then it's like, all right, now maybe I can get to know you. Like, you know what I mean? So it's backwards now, but that's how it kind of is.
Well, but let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
This might be a personal question. No.
Go ahead, I'll let you know.
Cause I always say that, you know, people say that you gotta test the cow before you buy the milk. If you get my drift, right?
Right.
Did you go along that route is what I'm asking, or did you find out after?
I did, but that wasn't my objective.
Okay.
I did that and I realized, so let me give you a little. My husband and I built our relationship on godly principles. And we met a year prior us getting married. We met a year prior, and should I say this? We met a year prior, then it was a year that we did not speak at all. I was going to school. He was, it was crazy because I was like, I got to go to school. He was like, you know, we were serious minded, but we weren't ready for that type of relationship at the time, but we still liked each other. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we came back together and we were sleeping together, you know, and it was like, oh gosh, the Lord's gonna get us. So we got married. We got married in like 90 days. We were married in like 6 months. I can't remember. It was between 90
day fiance, huh? Like,
yeah, because it was like, well, we already knew each other, but it was like, we can't do this. We felt so convicted and just awful, and felt like, you know what, this is not going to be blessed. We're going to have to do something about this. So we went on and got married within 6 months. Within 6 months, we was married, and then we were blessed and we were good. We felt better anyway. So that's how
Shout out to real love.
Yeah, that's how we did it. And literally we dated a short period of time. It was a short period of time. So and I tell people this. It was one thing too that I don't know, it may be missing now, but my husband and I, we in that short period of time that we dated, it seems like years because we used to talk on the phone like almost 24 hours. We used to talk, constantly talk, fall asleep talking, you know, stuff like that. And I just don't think that relationships have that, you know, I don't know. I don't seem like people do that now.
No, they don't. Yeah, that's one of the hardest things I find right now with dating is because people are so busy, you know, trying to actively talk to one person and waiting for them to respond when they have the time. Like you said, you got to know your husband in 90 days. Like, it'll probably take us 90 days just to have a regular conversation. Like, you know what I mean? Because they might be busy all the time, or you know what I mean? I might be busy. Our lives are so busy now where we can't stay up on the phone all day like we used to, or all night, and then we got priorities, like, you know what I mean? So those conversations don't get expedited as quickly because, you know, people have priorities and life things that they have to manage and take care of. So
that's terrible because it's not fun. You have to live a little. You have to live. I mean,
you make time for whatever you want.
That's what I say. But anyway, I get it. I know what you're saying, but
you live in New York, man. It's you got to work out here, man. It's no survival without work.
But let's say it's a woman that y'all interested in, but she didn't let y'all never got to meet. That anxiousness of speaking to this person, wondering what they're doing, when you're gonna see them. You'll make that time to speak to her then when she's like, oh, I'm coming up there next week, or we're gonna see each other next week. You're gonna keep that there.
Yeah.
It just I feel like people are starting to, once you got what you came there for, then you giving up on it. And I think that's the flaw in most relationships nowadays.
I think people are also rushing in to relationships nowadays too. Like, your story is great and wonderful, but that's a Cinderella type story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if people are get married in 90 days and stay married. You know what I mean? Like,
but listen, if you tell yourself, listen, you guys are successful at what you're doing, and you probably told yourself going in you were going to be successful at what you're doing.
right.
And if it's something that you want, any one of you, you say, I want that Lamborghini. I want whatever you say. As men, you go get it. And there's nobody or nothing that can keep you from getting it. This is how I feel about you three. So why can't you apply that same energy to a marriage relationship and make it the most important, best relationship that you have in your entire life?
See, but when you say that, right? When you say that, when you apply that energy, if you want that Lamborghini, you're relying on yourself, to do that.
Exactly what I was about to say.
When you're dating, not only yes, it's okay for you to have that energy, but if they don't match that energy, then it's not gonna go nowhere. Like, you get what I'm saying? So like Keem said, it takes two.
Let me share that part with you too, because remember, there are principles that you both must have going into the relationship. Y'all got to be on the same page. So if it means that you have to check in daily to see what page that we're on, it has to be the same page. The goals have to be the same. And let me tell you something. I don't know this for sure because we're dealing with a different woman. But if a woman got a good man and he's pouring into her, that's all that woman wants, is a man to love her. I promise you. She wants a man to genuinely love her and for her to feel it. She wants to know that this man.
She's going to pour into him.
Oh, she's gonna be.
I've been in relationships where I poured into women and I ain't getting much pouring back. Like,
that's interesting. I don't know the situation, but usually
it was empty. Yeah.
A woman is totally submitted to a man that actually loves and is pouring into. And I don't mean pouring into as in buying. I don't mean like that. I'm talking about emotionally, mentally checking in with her. Where she can be like someone that she can totally submit to. If a woman can totally submit to you, guys, y'all can have anything you want. And just in case you didn't know, you can have anything you want. If she feels that comfortable and that stability from you, and like no matter what, he's there. That's it.
I think that's how it used to be, but not these days, man. Like you can't. Emotional support will get you, but so far these days, you gotta come with the money, man. That's it.
And modern women rather be chased. And then when you feel like you're in a relationship where you're not chasing each other anymore, we're supposed to be happy with each other, they feel like the next guy up that's giving them more of a chase for them, they rather keep their options open. So it's like, okay, I invested all this time, I chased you. Now, you know what I'm saying? I got you. I'm trying to keep you. And then it's just not nothing. You're like, okay, now, what am I getting out of this too? Let's make each other happy. I made you happy. I'm sitting here, and I'm not saying there's not guys that's, doing the same thing, but I feel like, a lot of men in my era and my age group are looking to settle down nowadays. And I feel like we gotta keep rising up to what the rappers is doing, what the ball players doing, because like they've seen it on TV and they seeing it on Instagram or whatever the case may be. If I can't give them what they think they homegirls is getting from a scammer or a drug dealer, and I'm an average 9-to-5 dude, you know what I'm saying? They rather chill with their friend and see what his homeboys could do for them.
So listen, I'm gonna go out on a limb, guys, and I'm gonna tell you this. It might reduce 10 to 2, but I would go out on a limb and say that those women are not marriage material. They are not wives. Every one that you all just mentioned, they are not wives. So when a woman approaches you that way, there's nothing feminine about that attitude. If they come with that, be very I don't want to tell y'all to be this, but I'm going to say it. Be very arrogant and confident and dismiss them and walk away. You be the man that you need to be and walk away. Those women are not marriage material. I'm sorry. Every one of those ladies that you all described, they're not wives.
That's a lot of the population. That's why it's hard out here right now.
I mean, I like I said, I went from 10 to 2.
Right.
Only 2. But guess what though? What social media has done has given you all so much access. It's exposed you all to that type of attitude. But if a woman's coming to you talking about how much money you got and all of that, no. Because a real woman will build with her man, and guess what? They can be homeless. They can be homeless together. They can be homeless together. I'm telling you. Listen, guys, if they're not talking right, keep it moving. Be that arrogant guy.
Because you in the South. That's the Southern hospitality out there. New York,
we need to move.
Y'all need to move. I agree.
Yeah, you just said they're gonna build. Women gonna build. Man, ain't no women
homeless together.
Homeless together, yeah. Because
she's gonna find somebody with a house.
Or she gonna give the government assistance and leave the man outside because you can't bring it with you.
See, listen, those are not real wives. They don't want y'all. They want, I don't know what they want. You want somebody.
I mean, that's how the government set it up, though. The government set it up where they help provide for the woman and the child, but you can't bring the man with you. That's how it is. The welfare, Section 8, etc.
There's nothing cute about that. There's not. I don't see much value in that. But I get what y'all are saying, and I agree with you. But I'm telling you, if a woman presents herself that way, that's a red flag. Be cocky, be confident, be arrogant, because you're gonna find the one that when you walk away, she's gonna be like, "Hey, wait a minute, why are you walking away?" Oh, because you're not ready yet.
Right.
And it could be just that. They may be just immature.
Right. That's fair.
Then if they ready to have the conversation, then you guys have that conversation on what being ready looks like. And I want y'all to tell me now what that looks like. So, Jew, you tell me first, what does your woman look like? The one that's ready for you. What does she look like?
Well, first of all, she's all natural. I'm gonna let you know. Great personality, great with kids because I love kids and I have a lot of kids. My woman, she's natural. She's chocolatey. I love my chocolate women. Positive, hardworking, and she don't have to make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? She just got to be able to communicate with me and let's respect each other. I think everything else just could build outside of that. But she got to have she got to be ambitious and have, some type of drive. I don't want somebody that's just going to be a couch potato.
But you said you have kids and somebody has to take care of those kids, right?
Both of us. It's not just her responsibility.
Excuse me, y'all.
Bless you.
It's that time of the year. Thank you. Oh, gosh. What about you, Ace? What's your ideal woman like?
Ideal woman, first and foremost, great sense of humor. I want a small woman. Bless you. You good over there?
I see these all the time.
Okay. A small woman, ambitious, feminine.
I forgot that one.
Yeah.
It should have been a given, right?
Yeah, it should be a given.
Should be a given.
It's not. Just a woman who's supportive, on the same page, and knows when to fall back as well as when to pick up the slack. If I'm building the perfect woman, natural, like Ju said, I want natural. I love natural hair. I do not like wigs. Very little makeup. I'm coming to the realization that women love makeup, so I'm compromising here. You can wear makeup on special occasions, but I prefer the natural. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, what about you, Eli?
Man,
it's hard to go last on this one, man.
My bros on set everything, but
sound like y'all want the same woman.
Men are simple creatures, but I would say she definitely got to be black. I love black women. She got to be attractive. Obviously, comfortable in her own skin and her own body, comfortable with her own hair. She got to be into fitness and health. Because I'm into that as well. Someone who embraces her femininity. Someone who's interdependent. You know what I mean? I don't want no independent. I don't want that. Like if you coming in with that mentality, nah, that's not gonna work over here. I need interdependence over here. someone supportive, loyal, great with children, like Drew said. Able to challenge me, but in a productive way, like not trying to challenge me in a masculine way, trying to prove a point. Like, nah, that's unproductive for me, and we're not gonna, we're gonna bump heads. Someone who's great at, communicating, willing to compromise, like Keem said. Like I said, your education, she got to be intelligent, but education and your money, it doesn't move the needle for me. How you treat me, how you value me, those are like things that's more important to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a true feminine woman will inspire me, push me to do more, push me to go above and beyond. You know, a true feminine woman for me will make me want to go above and beyond to make sure she's protected, she's provided for, she's satisfied. You know what I mean? And that's the power of femininity. Like, femininity, there's a lot of power of femininity that women don't understand.
Well, don't forget the thing you always talk about, man.
Which one?
You want a woman that like getting her ass ate because you like to eat ass and shit.
First of all, stop that.
Let the world know, but
that is not true.
That's what they're doing nowadays. But
that's what we doing, Keith. That's what we doing. All right, that's not true.
Ladies, go in his DM.
But listen, it was cute, wasn't it? But you know what? I didn't hear any one of you say anything about she needs to be submissive.
That's one of those things.
That's empowering femininity. That's
you would think that would be a given, but apparently you have to say stuff like that. So, like, submission to me doesn't, like, obviously I want my woman to be submissive because I'm the leader, and obviously I want her to cooperate with me, and not always trying to combat me or feel like she needs to be combative. So, I did leave that part. That is a part as well. So
yeah, I don't need y'all to don't take anything for granted. Say what you want.
I feel
exactly.
Because the first thing you'll get is you never said that. I never said that. I agreed to this and I agreed to that, because femininity could be, it could be a tomboy. You said natural girls. That could be a tomboy. That could be, hadn't yet come into her own yet. Especially you say one that doesn't have a lot of makeup. That could be those curly locks, beautiful skin, but she just ain't got the heels yet. So say what you want, mean it, and just stand on it. And watch these women flock to you when you dismissive to them. When you know who you are and you know what you want, and you be like, nah. And look, baby girl, you just ain't ready. And you have that kind of cocky attitude, they'll be like, no, what you mean? Tell me what? They'll want to know. But the more that men keep, I guess, falling for it or lowering their standards or being accepting of it, the more it's going to turn around.
And the funniest thing, I always say this on the show, that women valued me more when I was more disrespectful. So when I had a lack of respect for the women I've talked to or whatever the case may be, they praised me. They put me on a pedestal. They argued with other women. They wanted to fight. But when I treated women with respect, it's just like that kind of decreased for me. So,
no, I don't mean
rather the chase.
I don't mean disrespect, and I'm definitely not talking about a game. I'm saying they just need to know what they want and not less. Don't lessen your value. Be like, no, you're not gonna play the game because you just. One of y'all said something about a woman challenging you about what? You're the man. What is that? We can have a discussion, but when you say challenge, that sounds like to me that I'm going one way and she's going another. When you're in a relationship looking ready to be married, my husband has to make the final decision. Somebody got to make it,
right?
And whether I agree with it totally or not, somebody has to make that decision. And I want him to be the one to do it because I want him in all of that, me serving, I want him to be responsible for everything. So I want you all to be responsible for everything. So you have to know that and take that on. Let me read the super chat though. It says here, thank you, Mr. Scotland, for your $20 super chat. It's a feminine woman provides that cooperation and inspirational energy. Men developing from standards is a key. That's what I'm saying. Set a standard and don't deviate.
Women don't like when men have standards for some reason. Once we got standards, we hate our mothers, we hate men, we hate women, and all this craziness. So.
But that's what I mean. Set your standard, but I don't like the disrespect. It's simple to say, baby girl, you just don't understand. even take the time to explain it. But I don't think you should be shut up bit, I don't think that should go, or a woman's place is to be quiet, or I don't believe in that. But just set a standard and be like, nah, this is what's required, because you're the man, best. And if you don't feel that confident today, that's where you should, that should be your purpose and where you should be before you decide to take on a wife.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah, because you're responsible. I hold my husband responsible for everything. Anything,
Look, anytime you drop in gems, I'm listening. I'm right here listening. I'm taking notes, actually. Like,
it's hot outside. I say it's his fault. Whatever. It's like, whatever. You did it, So that's just what, I say. So listen, I want to talk about what was the most shocking thing that you've heard, each one of you. It could be the same thing, because I'm going to tell y'all what I heard. What was the most shocking show or something said by one of the ladies to each one of you? The most shocking.
Who want to go first? I go first. I'll go first because I get to think one off the top of my head. We had a guest, and she said that that she like hitting men, right? And she felt like she was able to put her hands on a man to the point she even said, like, I could stab you, and I could physically harm you, and I expect you not to do nothing back, because and that to me was like, nah, that's outrageous. So that's just I still think about that to this day. Like, that's outrageous to me. Like,
that sounds like mental illness a little bit. That don't sound like that don't.
My most shocking one was, man, it's like a tie. It got to be between, if a man want to take me out, he got to pay for my babysitter.
That's a good one.
Or she said that she don't need a man to have a baby. That's what she said.
Oh God, that was a good one. Y'all had to convince her that she needed your seed.
Yeah.
She was going to have a baby without a man. Gorilla sperm or something. I don't know. Like,
I think she just wasn't listening. I think she wasn't listening. She has to know and have a baby, you have to have some sperm and you got to have an egg. She knew that, right?
Nah, she knew. You go to the doctor, go to the hospital. That's what
That's what she's saying.
You got him in storage.
Find a scientist.
Are y'all serious? Did she really not? She didn't know who made it.
She believed that 100%. She was 100% serious.
I remember that one. I remember that. I do. What do you think, Jew? What are you thinking?
I would have to say, I forgot what Eli asked this young lady. He was like, I'm not sure. It's like, what do you do for a man, or what would you do for a man? And she asked him, was he poor?
What do you bring to the table?
Oh yeah, he asked her, what do you bring to the table? And she said, are you poor or something? We just sat there, and I'm like,
I don't think I saw that one, but let me tell y'all know what I'm. This is the one this is going down in history. Young lady, y'all asked the young lady, would you prefer a 9-to-5 or a scammer? She said a scammer. I said, what?
I mean, all of them
just
say
like
that.
That's multiple.
No, listen, I only heard the one girl. I guess because I can't hear it anymore. When she said that, I thought I almost fell out my seat. I was like, she kidding, right? She said she wanted a scammer, and you said her girlfriend say instead of somebody work a 9-to-5. She was like, yeah, because they got money and they can take us to Roof Chris, Capital Grill, and I said, what?
Dubai.
Listen, that had to be the funniest thing I ever heard about life. I said, did she just say she wanted a scam? She was serious.
Yeah, she was absolutely.
But since that show, that's been like a staple question on our show now. And you'd be surprised how many women pick scammers over 9-to-5 men.
So listen.
We even had an Asian woman on the show that picked a scammer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I may be a little naive because before that show, before I heard that young lady say it, I didn't even feel like scammers were like a real job. Is that? I know. Listen, I know people. Forgive me. Wait a minute. Let me say it right. I know people scam and steal, but I didn't think it was something that we should be out here talking about. Like it's a real profession, and you go put in an application and find you one that did it. I was like, we done lost our total mind.
Put that on your resume.
Yeah,
Professional scammer.
But guess what though? Who would trust a scammer? That doesn't make any sense. If they steal from people they don't know randomly, what makes you think they're gonna be any good to you?
Mm-hmm. Women, like I said, some women are. They just see the right now, like they're not thinking long term. So obviously, the scammer is getting that money. He's 9 times out of 10 he will get caught up, and he probably will suffer the ramifications.
They don't even be knowing his real name. They call him by his scamming name, Quay or whatever it is.
Oh,
man's name is Demetrius. She don't even know it.
that has been the most shocking thing I have ever heard anybody say was that one. When she said she prefer a scammer and she talking about Capitol Grill and Ruth Chris, I thought, she was going to say, I was like, what? Capitol Grill and Ruth?
Yeah, that's kind of regular. Like, I don't know. The 9 to 5 could do that. Like, you know what I mean?
But then she followed it up, but I'm going to help him. That was even crazy.
Well, she did, but then you told her, well, what about you get caught? She said, well, I'm going to leave then. I was like, what are you talking about?
You going to jail too?
That has been the funniest one right there. I was like, okay, I know that this is not real. That this girl would get on here and tell somebody she wanted a scammer. This
See, if anybody thought our show was scripted, that episode I wouldn't have been mad at somebody saying like, nah, y'all had to pay them. Like
I
we did. But
I was like, this ain't real.
I was just as shocked, like, nah. Like it was to the point where Jew was like, yo, don't laugh. Like
I couldn't help
I was
myself.
I couldn't. I had to. I mean, laughing wasn't it. I was more like, did she say scammer? Because she kind of whispered it the first time, if you realize, and then her girlfriend said, "You prefer a scammer over a 9 to 5?" And she kind of whispered too, and then she said, "Yeah, I want a scammer." I was like, "So this is the real thing that people really want?"
But her friend broke up with her 9 to 5 boyfriend because he couldn't pay for her nails.
Wow, that's right.
He treated her perfectly. But it was one time he couldn't get her nails, so she broke up with him. I'm like, bro, what? Like,
but she said she wanted a 9 to 5 who scam on the side a little.
Yeah.
That's what she said, bro. She didn't even say she wanted a 9 to 5. Just that's it, like.
But then you did hear also her girlfriend say, "But I've been with a guy that ain't got no job before. I've been with a bum before too." I'm like, what are y'all doing? But listen, guys, when you're coming into the live, make sure you're giving us a thumbs up and also go over to the Daily Wrap Up Crew and subscribe to their channel. Y'all can hear all this craziness live, not live, but up front. You can hear it yourself and you can analyze it yourself, because I'm telling you, I don't know where they get these girls from. I got my ideas. Who I get these girls from?
I don't know why people be saying that, man. These are just
ironically, we get these girls from girls that say, I don't know where y'all get them girls from. And
y'all need to have me on the show. These girls.
Exactly.
I picture y'all like at the Starbucks. I'm serious. And then these girls, they just a group of girls may walk down the street and y'all be like, "Hey, come here."
Hey you, you be great for my show. Like,
would you like to be on the show tonight? And they be like, "Show what? What you want me to do? We're just having good comment. Yeah, I'll do it. Can I bring the girls?" And they be like, "Yeah." And then I just picture it being like that, because I'm like, surely these women, I mean, because it's always they're together and then they all know each other and then they kind of think alike and nobody's different. So it can't be just as random as I think it is. So I'm like,
some of them be scattered though. Some of them be.
What it is we find one girl that says that, and then we ask, "Do you have anybody that you think will be good on the show?" So they bring their friends naturally. So birds of a feather flock together, and that's what you get.
That is exactly what. And I'd be like, "Yeah, they on the corner somewhere. They throwing up their hands. Come here," because it's like this is just unreal that they would find these girls that all think alike and they all say such crazy things. Now there has been some that were borderline. The ones I don't care as much for is the ones who think that they're in total control. They be real aggressive. There's been some like that to be like, "Nah, I tell my man what to do," and they be acting like they poo-poo is the best in the world and the man do whatever he wants to for it, and they be like, I was like, wow, really? They be running it. I actually like the nice girls. I'm sorry, say it again.
Would you be saying, fellas, we gotta take the power back, right? Yeah.
Because they're running that situation, whatever situation it is, or either they just talking because they know that camera's in front of them. I don't know what's real or fake, but still they be talking real strong. Sometimes I'd be like, I prefer the girls that are naive that say stuff that's weird because they don't know any better versus the ones that be real aggressive and be like, I mean, I'm almost like their dude probably scared of them. They be coming in here talking like,
yeah, sometimes we'll have women that come on and try to give the politically correct answers. But once we start digging more into the topic, then that's when the true them comes out, and then that's how they really feel. Like, the masks come off, and then that's how they really feel. Like, so.
But it's really good though to see that no one has. I have never seen anybody really attack you all. Y'all really have a good show. I hear everything everyone's saying. There's nobody really talking over each other. I mean, they get laughy and funny sometimes. I notice Ace be saying, "You serious? You serious? Hold on for a minute. Let her say that again. Wait a minute. He always says that. He's like, wait a minute. Let her say that again. But other than that, and then Eli, you always trying to reason with him. He's like, wait a minute. But what if a woman did this and a man did everything? He went out and worked all day, and they'd be still like, so? And he'd be like, but even if he did this, and they'd be like, it don't really matter. And then Jude, you just be like, look, this is how it's gonna be. I don't know.
They gotta wake up.
Yeah, Eli is the reasoning one, and then Ace just like can't believe what he hearing. And, what it is. I'm like, this is so funny, but everybody seems to act really nice, so I appreciate that. So you can actually hear what's going on, and everything is good. So listen, do y'all have any questions for me right now? No.
Not necessarily, none that I could think of. But I'm be honest with you. I'm still, I got to give you props for your marriage and you being so successful in the 26 years. You said, that really needs to be, you and your husband really need to be out here more. So the world can see. Black people need to see successful marriages and see what it looks like and see that you're happy, because women will have this narrative, oh, she's not really happy in her marriage. Like, she just. You know what I mean? They need to see that you're happy, that y'all have a successful marriage, so people can see we can have some faith, some hope again in black marriages.
What? They're gonna say what they want no matter what, but it'll be 27 years, November the 14th of this year. 27.
Shout out to y'all.
You got a bomb? You got a bomb in them sound effects? You got a bomb in there?
I don't have a. Do I have a bomb? Do we have a bomb?
You got no bomb?
No.
You try.
So drop a bomb for y'all, man. I'm gonna drop a bomb for you on our show.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Both of my fellow co-hosts, are single men. I think they need to be on your show. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can find them some love.
My question to you is, what advice do you have for somebody that's dating in these times?
Woo, dating like what y'all call dating?
Not that dating. The real dating. Like,
the real dating.
If you dating with purpose.
Honestly, I think that I think you all should date on purpose, and I think you should be very, very selective. And I think you need to have the heart. If you think that person has like say 50% of what you're looking for, I think you should then go on another date to find out where her mind is. And if it's sincere, then I do think that should be somebody that you're qualifying. But I don't think you should reduce your standards. I think you should be having those conversations completely, and only because it's today's time. If years back when you knew women were feminine and women wanted the same thing, you wouldn't have to have these hard conversations, because no matter what, she still has to adapt to you, and you still have to love on her to have a marriage that extends for life, right? It's not automatic, but you need willing participants, and you need to know that how she thinks, and she's not going to be perfect. We fall off sometime, but we need to know that you're going to be there for us. But I don't believe in this today's dating. I think that is ruining men and women. It's making you all, and I think you pointed it out earlier. He didn't say it like this, but what it does, it makes you all what do you call it when nothing excites you anymore? What do you call it?
Numb,
yeah, it makes you all numb to women.
Oh, okay.
Because they're there. They're just there, and you're having this sex that is going nowhere. So it makes you very numb to what is going on. And women, it's just making their body count go up, and y'all may not know what the soul ties or the actual what's going on with them emotionally when they're continuously having sex with different partners. And I know they say that they're in control, but that's an emotional thing. Yeah, let me go deeper. That's a spiritual thing, and they're not in control. So it brings out all that evilness and all that orneriness, all that stuff that y'all see that y'all don't like. It brings it out because they lose every time. Every time you walk away, they still losing. And for me, I think they're really only having sex with you because they want to be with you. But I get that they say they're in control, and I understand that y'all got to take them at face value. But I prefer that you all, be more selective with your jewels. Just don't be giving your stuff away. But like, you know what? I don't want to contribute to this because you may be somebody's wife one day.
Right.
Dearly beloved.
And then go ahead.
The question I have is, where would you say that for quality men, where can quality men go to find quality women?
You know what? It's not YouTube. Per se. But it could be I choose you because I pick women that are selective. Okay, I select women.
Quick plug.
It might be YouTube.
It might be YouTube in that aspect, but just normally I would think that it would be something like, I don't know everything about New York. I hear it's very busy, hypersexual, and I think sometimes people just do things to fit in. But like for me, like walking trails, riding bikes, what you call those things? Hiking, Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah, you find a woman in Starbucks.
It be black people in Starbucks.
Maybe
down south.
Yeah, every black people in Starbucks.
Yeah, we have black. We have black people near the Starbucks near the hood. Near, not in, near.
Oh, okay.
We have them. Yeah, very
Where
near.
you from, by the way?
I'm sorry.
Where you from?
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I would love to have y'all moved out here. It's enough of y'all already, but I would love to have y'all moved out here to find y'all some women and then take them back up.
A lot of people from New York is moving to the South these days.
Oh my God, you just wouldn't believe, because it's so we have what they consider good school districts. A house here, like a $400,000 house here is probably $1 million in New York. Stuff like that. It means a lot when you're talking about having a family. So, and then like the crime rate, it's going up, but still it's nothing compared to. And then the people, there's nothing close together here. You have to have a car here. You can't, you can get on the bus if you want to, but you got to drive to the bus stop. So it's like, it is. So it makes for a good living to grow up kids. And if you have kids that are in trouble, to get them to another environment, things like that. And if you can move, there's probably nothing wrong with doing so, but it's expensive to do so. But I see why people are moving this way, and they're coming from the West also. So
I want to ask you, how did you get started with your podcast? Like, what made you want to get into it?
Well, the first thing is I had a professional podcast, was Security Boss Making the Cut. And that was for my real business. Me and my husband are co-owners of a security firm where we own a security firm. Me and my husband.
Okay.
We've been doing that since 2005. And it's real security, like, people. We put people in places like banks and stuff like that. So I'm over operations. I'm like the face of the business. So that's how it actually started. Making the Cut was the part of the business that I was following, because the hardest part of that business was employees, finding good employees. So I'm always talking about Making the Cut. So that's how it actually started. We wanted to actually make it a TV show.
Okay.
Because I had so many, just like y'all had these girls coming in here with the different crazy stuff. I had employees, applicants come in, and you just wouldn't believe some of the things that we do. You wouldn't believe. We was like, okay, we got to get this on camera. We have some of them crawling on the floor. Just some of the weirdest stuff that you just wouldn't be able to tell nobody it happened.
Right.
So that's how we started. And then every time, like when it was good though, when the young men come in, or the women, the interview would end up being me in some kind of way counseling them or telling them something. They would just come in and just tell me everything about them in 15 minutes. I would just know everything.
Right.
And so my husband was like, why do people just talk to you and tell you everything? I said, I have no idea. It's been this way forever. So it started with that.
Gift the gab, like.
Yeah, no, it started that way. So then and I also like cars. So that part of not Hellcats, but Dodge Chargers was our company cars. So I had a Hellcat, I sold it. I have a Hellcat, couple of them, and my page started like that. That's what it was all about. Me, fast cars, and conversations. Mm-hmm. And then we went somewhere else to TLA. I don't know if y'all know him, but the lead attorney, and he was like, you know what? You can't do all these things on your one channel. You need to separate it. So I said, okay. So then that's how Unsolicited started. So I started Unsolicited in September. And since then, Unsolicited has taken off like wildflowers because it's about conversations with the boss, marriage, because that's what I've been my whole life, seems like, relationships, things like that, just advice sometimes, and just offering myself to whomever, and that's what I want to do. And that's just how it started.
That's what's up.
I appreciate that too.
It's been like that. And I like talking to young folks because it seems like life is so difficult right now for you all.
It's difficult. Absolutely. Yeah, real quick, I want to shout out Shakisha. I see her in the comments, and she always supporting. Shout out to her, man.
Shakisha, I see her right here. Listen, we're gonna make sure, guys, when you come into the live, you are giving us a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you're going over to the Daily Wrap Up Crew and subscribing to the channel. We're getting ready to drop the link in the chat. If you got any questions, we want you guys to come up and ask your questions. Now, listen, guys, when this is over, I'm definitely serious about I Choose You. I'm going to tell you guys more because I love the idea of you all being on I Choose You. Okay. So, Bethany, how are you? And Sir Hell, how you doing? I'm sorry, I was talking. I saw you. Thank you for being here. Also, y'all go over to Sir Hell Speaks and subscribe to his channel. He's an excellent content creator, and he always makes me think. So we appreciate him. Anybody that makes me think, I appreciate him. Bolo, if you still here, y'all make me think so much. Black man, you my co-host. So anybody else that I miss, forgive me, but y'all know it was busy here today. But I appreciate this so much. I got one last question, just while we're waiting for somebody to come up. What have you all learned, maybe that you didn't know about a woman from doing your show?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
It might sound messed up, but I know that women don't like to be held accountable.
That is a great.
And then we just gotta settle for whatever they want to tell us. I mean, that's the scary part about it.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. I'm gonna have to piggyback off that one.
That is a very good. Why do you think? What do you think about that? And when you say unaccountable, when you say accountable, you just mean take responsibility for what you do, right?
Yeah. Like we had a woman on the show that said, yeah, I know I'm wrong, but I'll tell you maybe in a week or two, or I'll have sex with you to compromise rather than saying I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. Wow. Yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah, that is a good point that you made. Just the accountability part. Like I've had relationships like that, and I just thought it was those individuals, but I never thought it was on a larger scale than how we see it now. Obviously, on our
men are known to say, "Baby, I'm sorry." We're known for apologizing to women from the beginning. We made songs about saying sorry. I love you. Sorry, baby. Take me back, baby. But women are not gonna say it. That's that.
I don't know. I'm sorry song about a woman. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Yeah, I ain't never seen.
You know what? The I'm sorry song would be probably Jasmine Sullivan when she knocked the windows out the car.
She literally said, "I ain't sorry. You deserved it."
That would be the sorry for the woman. Yes, she gonna justify hers. So this is what I did for you. How about that? But you know what? I want y'all to think about this.
Can you repeat the question? I think I got something. Can you repeat the question? I just want to make sure it's in line with the question that you had.
Yeah. So, have you learned anything from the women from doing your show that you didn't know?
I would have to say, and this goes along with the accountability thing. I've noticed from doing the show, women will cheat and then justify why they cheated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, I cheated, but like, it's because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do. And it's like, wait, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make, like, you know, so again, I didn't know that women think like that until we had this show and we started to hear women's perspectives, and I'm like, yo, y'all, it's not just one of y'all that think, y'all like, well, a lot of y'all think like this. So, you know what I mean? So
They are definitely acting like dudes now, because that used to be a dude's excuse right there. That was straight up dude. Go ahead,
It's
Ace.
only justifiable when women do it. If a man do it, is no excuse. Like, oh, he had no excuse for doing it. He just wanted to do it. But if a woman do it, oh, he wasn't giving her attention or something. I'm like, damn. Like, cheating is never right. Like, it don't matter who do it. Like,
No, it's never right. But you know what? I thought I didn't have a question, but now I have two. The thing, this is the thing, because I wonder why women don't like to be accountable, and in some way, it went back to me to being rejected. I think women may feel totally rejected when they are wrong and they're found out.
mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Like, you saying rejected, I'm thinking about other things that women, you know, because we often say like, well, we advocate for women to actively shoot their shot towards the men that they want. And a lot of women don't feel like they should do that because they don't want to get rejected. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I don't want to go up to a guy and initiate a conversation with him because there's that fear of, well, he might not, you know, reciprocate that energy. So I'd rather just assume that, you know, that I want to talk to you, or maybe look your way, give you these innuendos, you know what I mean? In hopes that you come over and talk to me instead of me just going over, introducing myself and starting a conversation that way. So.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out why women don't want to just say, yeah, I did it. You know, why we can't.
That's a good question. I guess there's never been in history, there's never been a reason for women to really own up or take accountability. Everything has always catered to, I feel like everything has always catered to the woman's emotions and her feelings. So, you know, even when she's wrong, you know, they will still push out that it was the man's fault. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, you know,
yeah,
it's programming, I guess, you know.
I'm agreeing with you, because they'll even say he got me pregnant.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm like,
all the time, like,
you know, y'all was sleeping together, right? Or listen, Miss Jennifer says women are shamed when they take accountability. That's why they don't want to do it. She feels like it shames them.
Who shames? Like, she got to give us an example. Like, who shames women for taking accountability? Like, I need an example.
You don't. It's just like, you know how you can you're busted. It's not that you are actually shaming them. It's just that they're busted, and now they have to say, okay, it was me.
I think the only time a woman can get shamed is if she takes accountability for having a high body count. Like, you know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, yeah, you
I think
that might be the only shaming, I guess.
When they don't take accountability, because now I got to put it on you. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
Now you don't want to take accountability, so now I got to let you have it. But if you just say, yo, I'm wrong,
it takes all the power away.
Yeah,
See, that's what I think. I'm gonna own my own power. I'm not gonna give anybody else power. I'm gonna say, yeah, I did it, y'all. What we gonna do now? You know, we're gonna move on, because ain't nothing else you can say. Once I said I did it, you have nothing else on me.
You can't how say the conversation is when you take accountability.
You're gonna be talking less, right? It's nothing else to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we've been taught correctly, because you know, you can take the fire right out of something if you just say, yeah, you did it. There's no more conversation.
Right.
So I mean,
you can come to a solution even quicker and then move on to something different, like moving on to healing, like, you know what I mean? But you want to keep going back and forth to prove that you're clearly wrong. Like, I've been with women who were clearly wrong and still tried to prove that they was right, and I'm like, bro.
No, they don't try to prove they're right. They try to find another reason to be upset with you because you upset with them.
They moved the goalposts. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm mad at you now.
But do you think it's the past experiences, like men just letting them have it? Because with one of my relationships, I feel like because of her past experiences, she didn't want to take accountability because she expecting for me to just be like, yeah, you was right. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, they may say what they want, but I mean, how long can we say that? I mean, you know, relationships they begin and they end. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it is. I can't say that something that me and you, how our interaction is going to flow over to the next guy and because he act this way, I think you're going to act this way. Because guess what? I could have done something different.
Right.
You know, guess what? If I thought that I was going to get the same reaction from the guy before, which was negative, then why would I still be doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Don't let these women have that Jedi mind trick on y'all now. Come on, man. Don't let them do that Jedi thing.
I think we just, you know, when now that, you know, men have these spaces online to have these, you know, to share these experiences that they had with women, it becomes when men try to hold women accountable, they have done them Jedi mind trick now, and now becomes, oh, you're bashing us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're bashing. So now they doing a Jedi mind trick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's bashing. It's like, no, it's not bashing. It's holding you accountable the same way you've been holding black men accountable for decades. Like, you know what I mean? So they don't want to be held accountable. It's just another
red flags, guys. Red flags. Red flags. But listen, do y'all have any solutions or suggestions to the gender war? Do y'all have anything, any way? I mean, is this a real thing or is this just YouTube streets?
I mean, it's hard to really say. I do feel like it does happen a lot on social media. Like you hear these conversations happen more on social media. I can't ever say in my personal life, yeah, you might meet a couple of women that be like, oh, men is trash. Like that's kind of regular. But do I think they? Yeah, like I can't say every woman I meet. Like it's like for me, it's not really a staple. It's not every woman I come across. They ain't saying like I don't know, but like I said, I don't really necessarily see that in my day-to-day life. You know what I mean? So I do think it might be just online. Maybe women do feel like that. Maybe they just don't want to vocalize it in public. You know what I mean?
Bro, we just met a woman the other day, and it was another woman doing a podcast. We say, yo, what are you talking about? She said, blah, 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 niggas ain't shit. That's a staple, bro. like that's what they think.
We did have that. Yeah, we did have that encounter. Like, you're right.
I
forgot about that.
I think it's real. I ain't gonna lie to you. And to answer your question, I think the only way to fix it is to communicate. This is what I think Black people lack is communication with each other and support for each other. And I feel like once Black people start supporting, that's the biggest thing. Black people need to support each other like the way they support these white people. Like the way they support Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all that shit, that's how they need to support other Black people. And we'll be all right.
I don't know if we can ever get there, but that would be very good to have attempts on doing so. Even more than what we have now. But someone says, Miss Jennifer says communication and love. But what about the communication? Because now it's this thing, it's just a talking point that deals directly with your tone. You know, so men, if you're coming off too strong, I can't hear you. But you know what? Before y'all answer that question, Simi, I wanted to tell you, I want to say something. I could have maybe read your last comment incorrectly, but your previous relationships do alter your mindset going into other relationships, or either that's an excuse that people use. And I may be reading your comment incorrectly, but often we say there's trauma from previous relationships that we bring forward. And I think that was the question. Am I right about that? Ace, wasn't that your question? Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Simi, that was the question. I do think past traumas or things that are done in relationships prior could make you act differently, but it could also prepare you and make you respond differently also. And I think that was my response. Hello, Aaron. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. What's going on? How everybody doing today?
Aaron, meet the Daily Wrap Up crew.
Yeah. I'm familiar with a little bit of their work. I've seen some of the work they've been doing. The brothers doing a good job out here.
Appreciate that. Yo, where you live at? Cause it look like there's sunlight in the background.
Yeah. I'm in the Bay Area, so I'm basically San Francisco area. Gotcha. So y'all in New York, so the most hate. Yeah, pretty much. But no, I mean, listen. I'm gonna break it down really quickly. Because y'all was talking about you.
Aaron, I gotta introduce you. Guys, listen, Aaron is my producer. Aaron and I co-produce I Choose You. And guess what, Aaron? We just got 2 people from this panel to go on I Choose You. Did you know?
Listen, man. Listen, we love to be the support team. We would love to be the support team to take
Shout
y'all
out
through that
Eric.
experience, man.
Okay, go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
but no, I want, because listen, I posited this viewpoint a while back ago.
Mhm.
We've got away from the needing of each other because women don't want to do 50-50 with a man anymore. For whatever the case is, they have that right? And they make their own money.
Mhm.
So before they would tell you, they would say your grandmother stayed with your granddaddy, even though he had a family across town. I don't know if y'all familiar with that, but most people are. Right? But they had to stay with him because, you know, they couldn't, they needed him, right? But now we make our own money, and that's why we don't stay, right? So what happened is money has been injected in the conversation, which is causing a bigger divide amongst relationships because the need to stay is gone. It's only want. And since we have converted from a need to a wants-based thing, you see how people act when you don't need someone. You discard. So when you break it down like that, this is how I present day, right? Because I don't believe that we can revert to the past and go back. I believe once we go to a future, only thing it does is continues to evolve. That's why you hear young people say, "Oh, old person, you off, man. It's a new age out here." They keep telling the old folks, keep telling, "No, just do it this way. This is what I know." And young people say, "No." You're seeing a conversion in dating. You're seeing a conversion in relationships. So what does that mean? Women have made money, so they come to the table and they said, "I want to renegotiate the contracts of relationships." So no longer are the men going to be the way the man used to be. That means if you cheat, I ain't staying. I ain't got to listen. This money gives me power. And that confuses women because money gives men power. It gives women the ability to sustain, but it doesn't give them power over men. So there's a confusion there because a man will tell you quickly. Men have actually showed they don't really care. They lead. Look, they do you dirty. You can have more money. You can pay for their housing. You can be a hobo sex. Men don't care. Money is not enough to purchase a man. It's very difficult to do.
Right.
Sadly, women are purchased. Whether you like the way I said it or not, sadly, that's just how it is. So what you're seeing, in my opinion, is a women coming to the table saying we want to renegotiate the relationship of how it's laid out, and you'll see the struggle because men don't want to budge, and women are saying, "Well, with this damn money, I'll be single because y'all gonna change," and that's all you seeing as it continues to evolve. That's what you're seeing.
Yeah, but I feel like historically men have always led.
You think.
Oh, my fault, Kim. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, now you want to correct me when you saying I feel all show, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I've been trying to correct myself on the show, man.
The whole show. I didn't say nothing though.
Yeah. So yeah, Kim is right. I think, you know, men have historically always led with money and status. You know, now that women they have the money and the status, women feel the need to lead with that, and that's not what attracts men to women. Like, you know what I mean? So when you come into the table with, "Oh, I have my degree, I make this amount of money," that doesn't move the needle for men. It never has historically. That never has moved the needle for men. That's what men use to move the needle for women because women find that attractive in a man. Men don't find that attractive in a woman, and women are fighting back and pushing back on it so much. Like, well, why don't you want what I want in a man in a woman? And that's not how it works. Like you said, that's not how it works. It's never been historically. So
now here's the hard part about that.
I got a question though. I got a question.
Okay. I was gonna go ahead.
This is my question. I asked the question of the guys, and they said they wanted traditional women versus modern. When you're speaking of a woman, is there not such a thing as a traditional woman amongst women anymore, Aaron?
The short answer is it's nearly impossible to be a traditional woman in this day and age. It's nearly impossible because we've evolved so much. The reliance on men, as far as infrastructure, et cetera, that still will be number one. But still, aside from that, look, men don't even know how to fix tires. They keep kind of shaming men and attacking men like, y'all don't even know how to change tires. Yeah. But what you don't understand as you evolve technology, like just in general, we don't throw spears. We can't shoot bow and arrows. Like all we do is we create mechanisms to take care of the tedious processes over time, and it becomes monetized. That's all it is. So we found a way to monetize little things that people don't want to waste their time with, and that men used to have to know, but they no longer have to know these things. And so now women are going to say, well, if you're going to tell us we're not traditional, we're going to say you can't change a tire. we're going to say you don't fix things around the house. You don't know how to use a hammer. You're not a traditional man, which is not necessarily true.
Aaron.
I'm sorry.
Bella is traditional. Bella is traditional.
Well, listen, I'm not saying you can completely eradicate traditionalism, okay? You cannot completely eradicate traditionalism because a woman can pass that on to her daughter, right? And you can continue that succession. But in general, that is not going to happen because, let's be honest, most, if you guys like to talk about the Black in the community, most of that is headed by a single mother,
Black woman,
possibly a man in the home, but they're not married. So that's how that stat actually exists. And so the experience that they're getting, it's hard to find a traditional single woman. So how can she pass traditionalism down if she's single?
And she's never seen like she's never seen that in her household to even be going with. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No. She probably seen it, but she made a mistake. She got pregnant, and that man didn't want no to do with that. And so how do you can't make that mistake, because once you go that route, it's hard to come back from it.
Right.
But I think that women,
10-2, it's out of 10 women, you got 2 that are traditional.
But I think that women are moving the goalposts on what a traditional man is as well in these times. Because now they talk about things that you got to go to school to learn. Like you can't install a pipe. Like they're not even talking about you can't fix a shelf or nothing. Like they talk about stuff that you need to go to school to learn.
Here's the thing: it's not about, for them. It's not about the goalposts, because they're not trying to be fair. They're trying to nullify your argument, right? In any debate. All they're trying to do is nullify your position. So if they can poke holes in any area, like I'll give you an example. For most men, right, if you get money, got good character, take care of your family, you can't poke holes at a guy, because most things women say is you broke. That's the only way to take a shot at you. Like, well, you broke anyway. But when you remove that,
say you broke and you gay, you know how they do.
Well, yeah, well, you know, I don't like to say that.
Or your piece is little.
Exactly, right? But when you remove all those layers, think about this. What you're seeing is this, and I'm a little aggressive here, so bear with me, brothers. Women typically deal with men that can't hold them accountable, so that's why they deal with these certain guys that are considered lazy, homosexuals, whatever you want to consider, because that woman then does not have to look in the mirror. I talk to women all the time. If you deal with a guy that's on his stuff, then he gonna be on your line, and now you're gonna be like, dang, why you on me like that? Like, he go to the gym every day. He handle his business. He gonna tell you, you ain't went to the gym. What's going on? Oh, I was tired. Like, oh, you tired, huh? But if he lazy like you and he ain't on his grind, then you could say, well, you don't go to the gym. That's all that they want. So they really don't want a man.
A reason to cheat. And now you gave her a reason to cheat now. Like,
so now here's the crazy part, right? Because this might be where we have a disagreement. Men do give their women reason to cheat. And I know that sounds crazy because it sounds like I'm giving them an out. But here's the thing. A woman will only cheat on her man if she don't want to be with you no more. She done with you, right? Because she knows the decision that she made. She's like, yeah,
But why is that a reason to cheat though?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because obviously life ain't fair, and everybody can do things on the uppity up. Fair, okay, fine, it's fine. But women are going to do things when they realize you push them to somebody else. Yes, you can push them to somebody else. How? One, the most important way that you do it is not being able to identify if she really wants to be with you. And that's the number one thing that men struggle with. They do not know if the woman that they're with really wants to be with them. Because let's be honest, how many times you look at a woman and go, man, if you could get Chris Brown, you probably would leave me for Chris Brown, but you know you can't get him. But if you could get him, you probably be gone. Most people know that they can't. So most of these women, most of the time, are just settling to be with guys. So guys don't truly know if they're dealing with women that want to be with them.
So would that be a product of women just being opportunistic? Like,
well, women are always going to be opportunistic. That's why they give guys a shot that they shouldn't even give a shot. That's why you be like, why you even deal with him in the first place so he can mess with your heart? And now you come to me after that's happened, and I gotta. No, women are going to be opportunistic because they don't want to be alone. So they don't want to be alone, and they don't want to be held accountable until they have to be held accountable. When they know that clock is ticking, they like, okay, I gotta change. My friends is getting married. I gotta grow up. I gotta do it. But they do not want to do that on their own. They have to be forced to do these things. And so I actually do think in a lot of ways men push women to cheating because they don't identify the woman if they really want to be with them, because that's a hard thing for a lot of men to do. That's why, like, I'll give you an example. If y'all remember y'all first girlfriend, y'all remember her?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember your now tell me.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, look. So tell me. This is the most important thing with your first girlfriend, right? Your first girlfriend is the one that you was all googly with, the one that you was a scent, like the modern day scent we call now. That's your first girlfriend. Because that's the girl that you really, really was digging, and then you found out the truth about women. See, your first girlfriend is the truth about you, because you're like, that's when I truly was just like, my guard is down. I'm truly like, everything's all in with that first woman.
But
after
I feel
that,
like,
go ahead.
I feel like that's the only time you can have feelings for somebody unconditionally, because you both start off with nothing and you guys are filling each other out naturally with no expectations. So, I mean, I could hear you, but I still feel like that person is googly eyes over you just as much as you are.
Sure.
Y'all both broke. Y'all both live in your parents' crib.
Sure. But what the point of that is the most genuine a guy is going to be about how much he genuinely cared for a woman before that guard comes up. After that experience, depending on how it goes, meaning if she didn't go off to college and it just didn't work out because she went off to college, if it went bad, that's going to impact how that man goes forward.
All right, so let's take a quick break here. So listen, guys, when you're coming into the live, let's give a thumbs up. We've been here nearly 2 hours. So I got to share something with these young men because they blessed me tonight. And Aaron, you definitely have. I know you've been on a Red Bull or something because you're at it tonight. Thank you for that.
He feeding off the energy. I see you, Aaron.
He got it. But listen, Aaron, this is their first time here. So they don't know what we do with the money line. And I haven't done the money line all night because I wanted to have the conversation, but we're drawing near to the end. And young men, this is what we do for the money line. When you hear the money line song, you got to move your shoulders. Whatever you got to do, but you got to move them. However you want to move them, you got to do it.
Like a Harlem Shake type of thing. Like,
whatever you want to do, you got to let the music move you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and read this super chat. When I find it, it moved on me. Here we go. It is from Michael Richardson. Michael says, Aaron, this is a thing. If you can utilize YouTube, you can fix anything in your house. I gave my Saab a tune-up and changed spark plugs. YouTube video. Men is not what you know, is where you find it.
Shout out to YouTube University, man. Like, they told me.
I love that.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Michael, wait a minute. Michael did another one. Wait a minute, Michael, and this is another $5 chat from Michael. He said, I taught my sons to change tires and mow lawns. That's traditional. It very much is. But guess what, Michael? You get the money.
Mike is military. If I'm not mistaken, I think Mike's military.
All right, guys, move them shoulders. Y'all hear that music, right? However it moves you. Come on, you young folks need to lighten up.
Yo, look at this thing.
Like y'all about to break. Y'all look like y'all about to break.
Security boss. You know, nowadays when guys don't really dance, they just go to the club and they post on the wall. You know how they do it.
I'm Caribbean, I dance. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm Caribbean.
Listen, young folks are so uptight and so serious. This dating thing's got them all twisted up. I need y'all to breathe and move your shoulders. But listen, I want to tell y'all something else. I think Bella left this comment that she's traditional, but someone else left a comment and said there could be a very good balance of traditional and modern. What do y'all think about that?
That's what we're gonna have to settle with.
I think that's fair. To say tradition, like, it's 2022. It's not many things that's traditional nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? You got children learning about sexuality and all this other, you know what I mean? So it's really nothing really traditional. You got to do what's best for you and your family at the end of the day. Like, when you prioritize the family and the income, like Aaron said, like, women look at 50-50, like, as in, it doesn't have to be necessarily my money is 50 or your money. It's just about contributing to the relationship and the marriage and the family. You know what I mean? So let's say I pay all the bills, and let's say you do work, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to need 2 incomes. That's just the society that we live in. The inflation has went up crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's very often that a man will be able to provide for his family and his kids, unless he's that 10% or less of man. You know what I mean? So you might need your woman to bring in a certain income as well. but that shouldn't mean that she has to necessarily cater to the kids. I know Jew is a father. He does things that will be quote unquote traditional for women to do. He takes care of his children. He cooks. He cleans. He does everything because that's the bigger picture ultimately, the family. Like, you know what I mean? So I think there could be that's what we, like Aaron said, we got to get to that balance where we renegotiate how successful relationships work nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? We haven't figured that out.
Cedric, how are you? He says, a security boss up crew. Cedric, you're trying to hear the money line song. They love this money line song now. Yeah, listen, we're going to do the money line song one more time. And I want you young folks to move your shoulders. Get loose and feel it. Let it go. It's okay. All right, so let's get Cedric the money line song. Thank you, Cedric, for your $9.09. All right, let's move your shoulders. Oh, look at what you backing up there, Ace. I see you.
Okay, well, he getting in right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
that's that career.
That man about to do the Chris Tucker.
Wait a minute, Jew, what you doing up there?
I'm Ace when he doing Chris Tucker.
Yo, Jew came about to start twerking in a few. Like,
yeah, I was like, so anyway, we have dropped the link. Listen, we're right at 2 hours. I do want to spend some time with you all, just a little bit behind. I'm gonna close out the show, and I'm going to talk with you and Aaron together. I want to talk to you all for just a little bit. Definitely tell you thinking. But is there anything? I'm gonna let you all in the show for us now, guys. Listen, the link has been in the chat. Y'all have not cammed up, so we're gonna say good night. Michael, thank you so much. You are definitely an outstanding supporter.
Shout out to Michael, man.
Shout out to all y'all.
Yeah, all of y'all been excellent. But you know what? This is SB Nation. That's how we do over here, though. And y'all welcome to be a part of it. SB Nation. So we're gonna close out the show. Did y'all have anything y'all want to closing words y'all want to leave with the chat or with the live?
I just want to say that we drop an episode every Friday, 7 a.m. at DailyRapUpCrew on YouTube. So tune in and pick up the merch.
All right. Ace, did you want show your merch again?
DailyRapUpCrew.com, man. Make sure y'all get that. Some good merch over there.
Charlie State.
Yeah, all right. Start doing more live shows because
now we working on that. We definitely working on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I
just wanted to say shout out to you, Queen. Appreciate you having us. Aaron, shout out to you because you spit a lot of facts out here. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We might have to have you on the show and shit too. Shout out to the Black community. I wish everyone a prosperous and great night.
All right, so listen, y'all didn't give me my bars. I'm gonna let y'all off the hook this time.
That's the bar. Ace, the barologist.
You ain't introduced me with the.
I did, and I forgot about it that quick. I know.
Yeah, you were supposed to introduce me like, all right, this Ace the GOAT, and then I was like, this is my bars.
All right, there you go. You got the flow. Come on, Ace, give us something.
All right.
You got a rating right now. Like, you got a rating on it.
Yo, hit that and button.
He got to use that written. You can call it a freestyle. Use that written.
Yep. You got the BlackBerry.
Oh, you wait a minute. You got something?
I got the bars for y'all right now, man.
Okay, go ahead. We got you. Go ahead.
Listen up and take notes. I'm the best at this. We ain't got to vote. You tuned into Unsolicited. It's Daily Wrap Up, and I'm Ace the GOAT. You heard?
I like that. I like that. Okay, Eli, go ahead. You got something you want to leave us with?
Shoot, Ace said it, but yeah, appreciate you for having us. You know what I mean? This is a dope conversation. I think when you talked about solutions, you know, unfortunately, these conversations are going to need to happen. Like, you know what I mean? We got to have these tough conversations. We got to hear both sides. And, you know, we got to be willing to listen to each other with an open mind. You know, that's the only way we're going to get through this. So, you know what I mean? So you're talking about decades of trauma. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a couple of years. But, you know, maybe down in the future, you know, it'll be better off. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. And like Drew said, we drop an episode every Friday. We try to upload on daily, you know, whether it's, you know, short form or clips or whatever the case we can. We got some new content that we working on, you know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. And yeah, make sure you follow us on IG too, DailyRapUpCrew on IG.
Mm-hmm. So listen, I want to say this. If you all decide to go live, I would love to sit on the panel and talk to the ladies with you all.
Oh yeah.
I would
Listen, no, security, but let them ladies speak their truth. They see a woman like you on there, they gonna hold back and be front.
Now we gonna keep her in the cut. We gonna keep her in the cut.
We need the truth, okay? We need the truth.
Aaron.
No, we need the truth, okay? We need the truth from these women, okay? We can't have them holding back.
Aaron, can I just listen? I mean, can I be there listen here?
If they get a sniff of a traditional woman, they just might start lying like, "Oh yeah, I'll cook for my man. I clean his drawer."
Aaron got a point. He do got a point.
Aaron, we decided that they need to talk to a woman that's traditional. We've all decided that before you got here.
Yeah, that's season 5. We in season 2 today. We get to it season 5.
All right, Aaron, did you have anything you want to leave us with?
I can't sit still.
Oh man, listen. I Choose You is on the way. Be on the lookout.
Let's get around.
All right. Good night, everyone. Listen, I will see you guys on Friday at 4. I'm doing a new thing with my time. Friday at 4. Make sure you are there. But have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.
I'm fine with standing at the edge of the door. You be the life of the party. I blend in with the core. You drink it all the Bacardi. Till the bottles no more. Let's take it back for this started. You want the love, I don't got it. Got my soul on the road. You screaming, stay. Baby, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to foe. It's so different with distance, we roam into zones where nothing get heard anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. Say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. See, I've been lost in my thoughts.
So sick away.